I'm Holly Rader. Today we are going to be working in Publisher. In order to begin to open the program, you can either go down to the lower left-hand corner of your screen to the Windows icon and click there and find it in the list, or type it in the search bar. You may have also along the bottom toolbar, you may have the icon for Publisher that you can just click on. You're going to want to go into the program, and hopefully what you're seeing is the opening page for Publisher. You have several different options down through here for your projects. We are going to go to New. Maybe. Yes. Okay. We're going to New. And you'll see you have several different options here, from the letter to the portrait or landscape, and then other page sizes, blank page, different sizes for the according to the project that you're working on. You may be working with just a different size than your regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. If you scroll down, you'll notice there's lots and lots of templates. Well, there we go. From address labels, flyers, photo albums, invitations, different kinds of cards, address book, checklist. There are different headings that you can also go under that will pull up lots of different templates online. You might have a certain kind of labels that you're wanting to look at, or that you're wanting to create, or an event you're wanting to create paperwork for. If you don't see what you're looking for readily, you can go in and type, well, in the, hold on a moment, sorry about that. You can type in the search bar here. If there's something, something you're looking for that you're not finding, or you want to find more like that, and then you've got those options to go through as well. These are the online office templates. There are some under the built-in category that you can go through also. So go through and spend some time when you're familiarizing yourself with publication, with the Publisher program. Go through and look at the different templates. They give you lots of ideas. You may not realize that something is available, something like folding paper airplanes or other projects that you want to fold with paper, resumes, menus, letterheads, lots of different things that you just might not have realized they might have already created, and that will help in creating your projects. Today we are going to go to a basic blank project. Let's see, I think we will click on one of these just to give you an idea. And so that you can see what it looks like. You're going to get the, a bigger vision of the template, and then you can create that one if that's what you're looking for, or it'll let you scroll through some different options. We're going to click create, so you can see how these work. When you have words on the template, all you have to do is go in and click on it and change your message. You can also change, it leaves you an area to type an interior message. And so if you're wanting to create a project and you want a quick, easy fix, templates are a great way to get that done. Now we're going to go back to beginning. We're going to start a new project. All right. From this page, let's take a moment and familiarize ourselves with the options that we have from this page. We've got across the top, they call this the ribbon. This is going to change depending on which header you choose. Down here, you can see which page you're on. If you have multiple pages, they'll be listed along this left side column, and then you can toggle between down here. Object position, you'll notice the toolbars, not toolbars, but the rulers around both sides. And of course, there's nothing on our page right now, but you can click on something and it will show you on the X and Y axis and give you the ability to adjust that. Also, while we're on the rulers, you can left click on one and pull it out and create little rule bars. If you're creating a project and you want everything to line up along a certain area, you can just move that around. You can also grab one, put your cursor on it, left click, pull down, and you can create several of those. So I am putting the cursor over, left clicking, and rolling them back up. Now, you can also put your cursor up here in the corner, and you can drag the actual rule bars. This again helps if you're trying to make sure that everything is on the same measurement. If things, organized a certain way, you can move these around to be able to see them better. And then we can just click them and scroll them right back. This will show you the single page, or if we have a 2-page spread, which we don't, this is only, obviously a one-page project. You noticed earlier I used the zoom bar. You can zoom in and out. If you're out and you want to go back to being able to see the whole page, click right here. There you go, right back to the page. And now we're going to go back to the ribbon up here. If you'll notice, there are, in each little section, there's a group of options. Some of these are not highlighted right now, or they're not in bold. They're kind of faded out because there's nothing on our page to work with. But from this page, you can work on primarily it's about the text. It's about your different fonts, the size of text, the justification. You can draw a text box. And I'm thinking that I'm going to, this is just draw a text box anywhere. So we're going to draw right there. And then we're going to go back to this home. See, now it's all darker where you can see what you're doing. So you can choose your font size. Like I said, justification if you want it centered, left justified right. You can put columns in. You can underline. So lots of different options here. If you had, let's see, let's say if we had one, if our text box is only this big. So I kept clicking or kept typing and we ran out of room. It also turned red to notify you that you have texted or typed too many words for that size. You can go up here to wrap text. Well, I was thinking that's where we could do that from. They may be more of a, okay. Skip that. That's going to be more for a table or for an Excel type square. We can go in here and click on this. And here we go. Now we can see the rest of it. Okay, we are going to move on to page design. This is a good place to start. Gives you lots of ideas and helps you plan out how you want your page to look, from choosing different margins. The orientation you can change here if you want it portrait or landscape. Changing the size of the page paper. Guides. I think this is a great place. For instance, if you're trying to write a newsletter or a list or, you know, whatever project it is, this is a great place to go to map out your page, to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. It gives you these very light guidelines. Now, you can also choose color schemes here. And there's lots of different options. Lots and lots and lots. Let's see. We're gonna click mistletoe just because it's that time of year. Again, you can adjust fonts. This is where you might choose your background, and it shows colors in the color scheme that you have chosen. So if you were to choose, you know, something else, then these would look different. So you can choose through here how you want your background to look, whether you want pattern, texture, gradient, solid. So there's an example, and then you can change which colors are which. Let's see. So we're going to choose that very light green. Okay. Actually, we're going to go ahead and turn that off or make it super light, just for the purposes of this project so that you can see the guidelines a little bit better. So once you have chosen your basic layout, you've mapped out your page, what your project is, how you want it to look, or at least a general idea. Again, this doesn't keep you from putting things in a certain place. It just gives you the guidelines so that you can see where, how to line those up so that they're even. Then you may want to go to Insert. Here you can insert photos, pictures, calendars, text boxes, whatever the content is that you want. So, for instance, say we want to do a photo and we're going to grab it from my USB. That is not where I wanted to go. From my library file. You may not be able to see. In case you're not familiar, in this screen, you can click on this one and change between the photos so that you can see what you're looking for. All right. Once you have your photo, you can change the size of it. We're going to do that, and we're going to put him right here, lined up on the guidelines, just like we wanted. And because I kind of want to fill that whole space, we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to click crop. Now from here, some photos, it doesn't matter if you keep the integrity of it, and some it does, and I'll show you a bit on that in a few minutes. But you can choose, well, not quite what I wanted. There we go. So once you've chosen how you want it to crop, of course, then you can go in and change where the photo is so that you can get the part of the photo that you want. You can use your mouse, or you can actually use the arrow keys and then enter when you come to what you want. Now, let's see if this is. So see, this magnifies or reduces it. And this is what I was kind of talking about, changing the integrity. Sometimes if you grab it and you squish it wrong, it will change the way the photo looks. And sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes it does. If it's people, they tend not to appreciate being squished. If you happen to do it and you don't intend to, we didn't talk about this, but this is one of my favorite buttons, the undo, and that will take you back to the last step you did. Then we didn't really talk about this earlier either, but I kind of touched on it. Going in and experimenting and exploring. Don't be afraid to go into your computer, into all the different options, all your, the different settings within the programs to see how it changes it, what it looks like, because that's a great way to learn. Going through, clicking on everything, maybe not when you have your completed project, but put a few things up on there and then click through just to see how it changes, what the difference is. You may learn something more in doing so, and it's just a great tool to me to help you learn to familiarize yourself with a program before you really work on it. Okay, so let's say we have our photo. Now, going back to insert, and we're going to insert a text box. We may want the entire area for our text box. And Now, once you have typed in that text box, you can highlight it. It'll give you a quick option right here to change your font size, bold, justification, all of that information. Or you can go up here. Now, you'll also notice that in a lot of these sections of the ribbon, there's a little square in the bottom. If you click on that, it will open up a larger page with more options, and then you can go to more effects as well. Sometimes you'll have that option. But this will kind of give you often more options than are in the ribbon, or just makes it larger where you can look through maybe. So we're going to make that bigger so that we can see it. And let's see, we're going to center it. That's not actually what I meant to type. There we go. Maybe I want to change to a different one. So you see what that looks like. My meeting is ending, and so I am going to pause this and restart it. Okay, the next thing we want to do is talk about some of the other things you can add or insert to your project. In addition to pictures from your own devices to online photos and text boxes, you can, one moment. Okay, so as I was saying, we're going to talk about some other things that you can add to your project. I apologize for the little interruption. I had a phone call to take care of. So yeah, online pictures, shapes. As it says, you can insert ready-made shapes, circles, squares, arrows, etc. If you click on that, you can go down and see all of the different options that you have. So we can change and you'll see when you go to draw it, it automatically draws in the shape that you were hoping for. Now you can change the color of it. You can, if we wanted to stay within our guideline lines, but you can change the color, you can change the outline, shape effects. Again, I can't say it enough. Go through here and play with all of these different options. You can do so many fun things in Publisher and some of these programs that you might not ever know unless you go and play. So go through and click and see. Then you can write, add your text box in. You can, even after you have chosen the shape, you can still go back and edit it or change it. If you decide that's not quite the shape that you wanted, you can click change. If it's still not quite right, you can edit it. Let's see. Now let's say you had two that you wanted for some reason you needed them right next to each other. You can click on bring forward or send backward. So when I put send backward, it sends it to the back of the page. You can also change the alignment right here. You can rotate it. Well, obviously you couldn't tell that because it's even, but you can still change it. Let's go over to word art. With these, you can type, you can choose one in your words. You have to be careful with these because they look really exciting, but some of them print kind of, depending on the printer that you have that you're using, it may be difficult to read them. And the amount of space that you use them for, or that you give them. Obviously, if you made it really small, it's going to be harder to read than if it's large. Now, notice also that as you go into these, let's see. If you double click on it, it takes you over to format, where you can change all of the looks of whatever you have highlighted. So again, we can change the fill, outline. You can change just by clicking on them. The height, the alignment, all of that. You can also adjust your header, footer, add a page number if you have multiple pages that you're working out. So there are so many different things that you can do with these programs that you can add. And let's see, we're going to go ahead and do another page. On insert, you just go to page and it adds another. So on page 2, let's say we want to insert, let's see, we're going to try it this way. I do a picture. Let's say we're going to put my dog in, maybe not that photo. Maybe that one. And then let's say we want to take this photo and note again, since we're editing this specific, or not this specific, but because we're editing portion, it goes to format. And then we can change your borders, all the different looks. Under picture effects, you can also change different looks of it. Let's say we want to change maybe the color, maybe because the photo was too dark or too light, we needed to change it a little bit. You would go to corrections. You can also go to recolor and change it to black and white or sepia or any of these other options. Lots more variations. You can make it somewhat transparent or opaque. You may need to compress the photo or the look of your project. for a certain print job or for a mailing. Say we want to change the picture. Let's see, not there. Let's see. If you will bear with me a moment. Let's see. Not sure why at the moment. I know previously there wasn't the ability to do this from this page, but at the moment my brain isn't quite working right. So we're going to go back to Insert, to Shapes. Let's say we want to draw a heart, and I'll go back over here. Let's see if this works. Not quite. Okay, so say we have the heart that we want to let's see. Okay, I had to play a moment to remember what I had done. So if you're on the photo and you want to change the shape of the photo, first we're going to get rid of this heart. So we want to change, double click on it, go to crop, and this little drop down arrow, crop to shape. Now you can choose any shape that you like. We're going to go with the little heart, and you can change the shape of the heart to some extent, and then the picture within to get so you can do that too. Let's see, to get the look that you want. So that's just another thing that you can do with your project. You can also do different shapes, like we talked about, sort of balloons. For instance, maybe if we went back here and if we wanted to put let's see. And then, like we talked about, you can change the size. Well, that's obviously not the right size. You can change colors. Anyway, you see what I'm doing. So there are so many different options, as I've said a couple of times. You can also change your text direction if, for instance, you need text to run down sideways instead. Let's see. You would click on that. For instance, well, at the moment I can't think of anything, but if you need your text to run up and down instead of side to side. So again, go through and play with the different options. Those should give you a good start to your project. And then you can save to and print from wherever you're saving, email it, whatever you need to do with the project. I hope this has given you a good start to Publisher. I hope you're having a wonderful day and happy holidays.